Salut, c'est moi, Madame Sako, et aujourd'hui nous allons reprendre les verbes en IR et RE. So for the second time, we're going to do IR and RE verbs take two. So just a few explanations because I did look over the Kias that you guys did last night for homework, and I wanted to make sure that you had some information on how you could fix it. So with IR verbs, we learned, just like ER verbs, that when we conjugate the regular verbs, we have to take off the ending. So we start with taking off the ending. So for the verb finir, to finish, we end up with fin, and that's going to be the same stem for all of the forms. And then we did see that there are some different endings. So for je tue, it's is, es, 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 ite, ite, ite. So in French, es, ite, ite, ite. Is, it. Okay? Now, the plural ones are a little bit different because the endings themselves are kind of similar to the ER verbs, but you have to add an extra ISS on. So ISS, ONS. The ONS is just like the ONS in the ER verbs. The actual new ending is ISS, ONS, ESS, ONS. The vous, ISS, EZ. Okay, en français. ISS, ENT. ESS, ENT. Okay, so your actual endings. Again, they're similar to the ERs because you still have the ONS, the EZ, and the ENT, and they're pronounced the same, or not pronounced at all when you talk about the IL plural, but you have to add that ISS in there. So we end up with je finis, tu finis, il finit, elle finit, on finit, nous finissons, vous finissez, ils finissent, elles finissent. Now, when I looked over the key, it seemed like everybody kind of got this piece of it. If there were mistakes, it might have been missing an extra S or something like that on the plurals. However, the problem seemed to come in with the verbs that had S's at the end of the stem, whether it was a double S or a single S. So let's go through this real quickly. Remember, your first step is to take off the ending, and we need to look at the stem. Okay, so that's my stem for réussir, to succeed. So that's the same stem for every single one of these. Okay, we're going to put that on first, just like we did on the previous verb. So we're going to go through and put that in. Again, because the first step that we need to do is take off the IR ending. And then we go back and we add the endings for each of the forms of the verb. So again, the IS, IT, ISS, ONS, ISSEZ, ISS, ENT. Okay, and verbs that are kind of, you have to really kind of pay close attention to are verbs like choisir, réussir, grossir. They all end in S's when you take off the IR. And this is where I saw some problems. I saw issues with not having enough S's. So we end up with je réussis, tu réussis, il réussit, elle réussit, on réussit, nous réussissons, nous réussissons, vous réussissez, réussissez, ils réussissent. So again, go back and check your Kia. Check the number of S's and I's and all those letters that you have in there, because there are quite a few of you that I noticed the only issue was that you were missing, especially on the plurals, that write the correct number of I's and S's. You also had to pay attention to, some of you guys on both Kias, what was in front of the space. Because in some of them, the case was that you had to put in the infinitive, like je vais choisir, je vais vendre, etc., etc. So go back and check that as well. The RE verbs. Some of you need to pay attention to the spelling of the actual stem. So like perdre, to lose, is P-E-R-D-R-E. D. Some of you put it in as ND. Same with vendre, I think, as well. So the RE verbs are a little bit easier than the IR verbs because the endings, oh, I said that should have been perdre. Let me erase that real quickly. So this should have been perd, je perds, tu perds, il perd, elle perd, on perd. Again, the D is not pronounced because, or the S for that matter, because they're silent at the end. So je perds, tu perds, il perd, elle perd, on perd. But we end up with nous perdons. ONS is the same as the ER verbs. Vous perdez. Again, same as the ER verbs. And il and elle perdent. Perdent. The D is pronounced because the ENT is silent, but it's there. So some of you guys, for the RE verbs, need to just pay attention to what you're doing as far as the spelling of the stem goes. And also, again, just like with the IR verbs, you have to pay attention to the word that's in front of the blank. All right? So take another turn at the IRs and the REs and start studying them. We'll be doing a clicker check on them soon. Bonne journée.